I mean, it was a really difficult game for the Cubs. They knew, I believe we had people here saying it was must-win game, and they didn't win it. So
it felt
now
like
they face the reality of coming home. I mean, can they win 2 games at home? They've done so all year long.
Yeah, they can win 2 games at home. It's going to be hard to win in Milwaukee. It's going to be hard to beat that team 3 games in a row. What the Brewers established, as much as anything, they're better than the Cubs. Okay. And the 97 victories are no fluke. They were 5 games better than the Cubs during the regular season. They lost the season series, which is largely irrelevant now. But they are better top to bottom than the Cubs, and they push the right buttons. And 815, yes, Tucker, Happ, Kelly, PCA, Swanson were all hitless. And your take is that Counsell is getting outmanaged. Both things are true. They're not hitting, and he's getting outmanaged. So I think that's a fair assessment of the first 2 games.
312-644-6767.
It's just about the starting pitching. You heard him talking coming in, and before we get to the callers, is that all they wanted to do was get out of the first inning unscathed. They had a 3-0 lead, and then Shota Imanaga on the mound, who turned out to be the wrong choice for this moment, just like Matthew Boyd was the wrong decision at that time.
I mean, I don't know that anyone can argue. It's just you've got to have an answer as to what is the best decision.
I do. We have talked about that.
Yeah,
better decision was Colin Ray.
Okay,
or
but don't you have to kind of dance with the girl what brought you? And I get it. They've got older players on short rest. Do you feel good now about Jamison Tyon being able to start this game?
Game 3 is better. They're in a better situation. The numbers
Who starts Game 4?
I don't know if you're going to get to Game 4. And if they do, will they make the decision then? That probably would be Matthew Boyd, because he'll be as rested as he has been, and you want to go back to him. So, and plus, it's all hands on deck if you get to a Game 4.
That's right.
But Shota Imanaga, the numbers were alarming going into this game. They're even more alarming coming out. He faced 13 batters. He gave up 2 home runs, 4 earned runs. And it wasn't like this should have been a surprise based on the data that was available to you going into this game. You had better options, no matter what he's accomplished for you up to this point. You got to be heartless and emotionless when you're making these decisions. I thought that's what Craig Counsell was here for. He suddenly got sentimental in the playoffs, and the Cubs are paying the price.
312-644-6767. We'll start with Jeffrey. He's in Rockford. Hey, Jeffrey.
Guys, at the end of the day, Craig is facing a guy in the other dugout who, when he was 18 years old, was handed a syllabus of here's how we're going to play baseball. That figure will always be over Craig's head. It always will be. That's his college head coach.
What does that mean?
Plus,
you're right, but what does that mean? Because he can't make decisions because he's intimidated by the shadow that Pat Murphy casts over him? I don't get it.
It's a little thing, I suppose, but at the end of the day, that stadium is built perfectly for them. Jackson Chourio is, I think, well on his way to being the best hitter in baseball. And Caleb Durbin is better than the kids from Stanford and Vanderbilt. That's the end of the day.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
Yep. Let's try Jake. Jake is on the road. Good morning, Jake.
Hey, good morning, guys. I got 2 points. One was, as you already mentioned, I was at the game and I was keeping score, and the first inning, it was like it has to be a clean inning. They had to get out of it. It was the most important thing of the game. Sadly, they didn't. But back to something you guys were talking about earlier was the state of the franchise. I think they're actually on the right direction to becoming the type of Brewers franchise, by not making moves at the deadline. Shaw, PCA are 7 to 9 hitters under 25. Cade Horton under 25. Justin Steele 28, 29 now, whatever. But you got you're starting to develop players now that are in the playoffs, playing experience. Manager, you're creating a team that can be hopefully longevity battling against the Brewers regularly.
Thanks for the phone call. Yeah, I mean, I think that the Cubs organization is both things can be true. You can be disappointed in what's going on in the playoffs. You can be critical of some of the decisions being made. And you can still feel like the Cubs have put themselves in a position to be good for a long time. Are they going to overtake the Brewers in that division? Are they going to have an identifiable set of traits to say that, oh, those are the Cubs, the way you do with those are the Brewers? That'll take more time. But yeah, look, this isn't the time for big picture assessment of where the Cubs are as an organization. If they get eliminated from the playoffs on Wednesday, we'll start doing that Thursday morning. But overall, right now, you feel disappointed in that you have a team that is not functioning at its highest level, falling short of its potential at the worst possible time.
Yeah, that is very well said. That's exactly what's going on here. And, I think we've talked about this idea of what is the strength of this team, how is this team built. They have depth to their roster, depth to their lineup, but they seem like a better defensive team than an offensive team. Mm-hmm. They seem like they are better at pitching as a general rule than at power pitching. Like, they don't look like they're especially made for the playoffs right now.
No, they don't. They really don't. And part of that is maybe the starting rotation.
That's a big part of it.
Part of it may be the bullpen that's had some flaws detected last night, but the bullpen got him through the Padres series, and it was managed masterfully by Craig Counsell. 708. Ask David if the opener was the right move by the Brewers because it was the right move, or because of the right move because they won. Well, it was the right move because it served a purpose.
It worked.
It got Craig Counsell to take out your hottest hitter for 2 at-bats. That to me is a win. And that to me what is frustrating about this Cub experience. These decisions that are being made don't seem to be in the best interest of winning. They're also wildly inconsistent in terms of using the logic. At one point, you're using numbers to tell you Michael Busch must sit against lefties. On the other hand, you're ignoring those numbers when it says Shota Imanaga doesn't give up home runs in the first inning. Yeah, he does. And yes, he did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, this is the problem with everything we've seen. Any so-called mistake that you have made has been because there is like a lack of logic to it. Like the idea that Michael Busch is your hottest hitter and you are sitting here and you're talking about, hey, look, we've been looking to find a spot for Justin, and now they're giving us a free spot for Justin. We're going to get a free at bat for Justin. No, you're not. You're getting no value there because you're replacing your hottest hitter and your maybe lone power hitter, or certainly he and Shota
for 2 at bats
are the only 2 guys that are hitting home runs. You're basically taking him out of the game. And you're going to wait and play chess over when they take the lefty out. So you keep him in. He gets 2 at-bats. He got a single, but he didn't drive in a run. He didn't do anything. Why is he on the bloody playoff roster?
Because
he was good 10 years ago? I mean,
yes.
This is crazy,
DH.
man.
He's a DH. He's a designated hugger.
Oh, God. Let's get to... who do we have? We got Jim in Northbrook. Hey, Jim, how are you?
Good morning, guys. This team, it's a swing and miss team. It's a lot like the 2018, 2019, 2020. They're different. They got different names, but you have 7 guys in the lineup that swing and miss. You have 2 guys that contact the ball virtually every time they come up, Tucker and Horner. Other than that, and you were just talking about Busch. What a fantastic season, great acquisition. And we can argue all we want about Craig and what his moves are. The move last night worked. I mean, Turner, ripped a single into left field, and they had a chance to score some runs in that inning. So, I mean, the way the team's comprised right now, half swings and misses, PCA, Dansby, Michael Busch, for his 34 home runs, he swings and misses a lot. We need, what Milwaukee does very well is they don't swing and miss a lot. Those guys contact the ball, they put the ball in play, and they force the pitchers to throw strikes. So it just seems a lot like the team that we got rid of in 2018, 2019 has come back to roost.
Jim, you're smart in the way you assess what happened this year and what's going on in the playoffs. The Cubs have struck out, I believe, 58 times in 5 games, including, I think, 11 last night. They have too many swing and miss guys in their lineup. That is true. I don't agree with just because Justin Turner got a single that was a good move, because you know what? I would come back with Justin Turner singled. Michael Busch might have homered.
Twice.
He might have. He had 2 at-bats, and he's coming in hot. And this is the guy you take out, your hottest hitter, who's leading off to set a tone, and then you complain about how things didn't go out the way you wanted in the first inning? Come on, man. Come on. And yeah, okay, Michael Busch also does strike out too much. He struck out 139 times in 524 at-bats this year. He needs to cut those down. But Michael Busch was the player that you could argue made the most progress this year and took the largest step of any player on that roster.
Jordan is in Wrigleyville. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, David, you touched on what I was about to say. Like, the logic behind, starting Shota, not starting Shota in the wild card, and then starting him in game 2 of the NLDS doesn't make any sense. I just don't understand it. And you could tell the look the guys were getting off him. I mean, let's be honest, Andrew Vaughn's not Steve Garvey or anything like that. You could tell he was about to hit a home run. I just knew. He's throwing belt-high fastballs to major league hitters. They're like 92, 93. That's not going to get it done. You knew if you're going to win that game, you needed to dominate pitching. You haven't scored more than 3 runs in a game. Shota's not going to dominate. He might get a good outing, give you 2, 3 runs, but he's not going to dominate. Just not going to happen.
Thanks for the phone call. Shota has not been dominant.
No.
There was a time, not that long ago, as a Cub, he was dominant.
Yeah.
He has not been since September 1st. And that's not somebody second-guessing. That's looking at the numbers. And it's not second-guessing because we talked yesterday about the perils of starting Shota Imanaga.
Yeah, there's very little doubt about that. We did discuss it, and we have pretty much gone over it, as has anybody. Anyone watching this team understands what has happened with him. And, you may hope that isn't going to continue, but you've seen it happen. It's not like there is any reason to believe that it will suddenly
I wonder if he's tipping
disappear.
pitches. I wonder if he's tipping pitches.
If he was, I think that would be good news.
I think it would be welcome news, and
Yes.
something that he's something happening that we're not. I don't want to. We just don't see what the way ball players see him doing. Something on the mound, something with his glove, something with his grip, something we're not able to detect on television. There's got to be an explanation for why he suddenly has become batting practice Shota. It's just not conceivable that he would get this shaky this quickly.
Well, I mean, here's hoping, because he's still a part of this team, and there is there is a tomorrow. Wait till next year is the old adage, and sadly, I'm not sure what to expect next year from him. Or
I don't either.
From other guys on that team.
I don't either, unless we learn some things that they are working on and they can be corrected. Because if you go into next season and he's your 3rd starter, he might be your 4th starter, depending on what your offseason looks like.
Bob is on the road. Hey, Bob.
Thanks for taking my call. This team is not put together correctly. That's the bottom line. It's not coaching. You go back 5 years ago, and everybody was saying how brilliant this guy was because what he was doing with the Brewers. Okay? Now he's with the Cubs, and all as we do is we get up there, and it's power, power, power. Well, look at the numbers. When a person has power, they strike out a lot. We need guys with average. The only guy on our team is Nico Horner. He's the only guy who can put the ball in play. And that's how we got beat both games. Now, last night, granted, they had 3 home runs. Okay, I get that. But they were putting the ball in play as well. And we don't do that. This is on management. This is not on the manager. This is on the Cubs organization, period. And that's all they keep doing is power, power, power. That's got to change.
Thanks for the phone call, Bob. I understand the frustration, and I don't totally agree, but I get it. They were the best offense in baseball for 2 months, and that was the approach, and that's what they thought they could recapture. For whatever reason, they didn't. Tuckered out, and you had some other things happen, and I just think that you can look at lineup construction, but they still are a team that I don't know how you change it tangibly. I think that it's a little early for that conversation, but there's some people who are fixtures in that lineup that might have to be moved, but are hard to move because of their contracts.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Ian
Happ's going nowhere.
Well, that's
the elephant in the room.
Yeah. I think that's a problem.
Yeah, Ian Happ is probably not going anywhere.
Yes.
And I say probably because I softened after I said the first declarative statement, but I think by the end of the month, that might be Ian Happ might not maybe be going anywhere. But he is a problem right now.
Well,
because he stopped hitting.
He stopped hitting.
And even at his best, what is he?
He's a guy you would want to trade for a pitcher.
You might want to trade him for a pitcher, but he's got to agree to that trade because he's got an airtight contract.
Yeah, and I don't know how he feels about that. He seems pretty happy where he's at.
I would be too.
Yeah, I mean,
I would be too.
Scott is in DeKalb. Hey, Scott.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm worried about next year and them and the front office, Jed, just resting and like Steele coming back, Horton coming back, and not really going after a closer, a frontline starter, things like signing Tucker. And I don't expect them to be the Dodgers with money, but I just don't have the confidence that they're going to continue getting better. I think it was a great season. I think they can really do better next year, but I'm not sure they're going to go for it.
Thanks, Scott. Well, they didn't go for it this year.
They didn't go for it at the deadline.
No, they didn't go for it at the deadline.
And I think we had our say about it. I don't know yet how to feel about the offseason. I don't know what I think about Kyle Tucker yet. I know you're not supposed to say I don't know, but the context of that conversation will be formed by how you feel the day after the season ends.
Patrick is on the south side. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, I'm a frustrated. Thank you guys for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm a frustrated Cubs fan, and maybe you guys can help me with this. I don't understand. You sit Michael Busch because you feel like he can't hit lefties. Okay, fine. Can anybody tell me why they don't sit Matt Shaw? Why? He hasn't hit no one. Why is he still playing?
That's a great question.
Defense.
Thank you. That's why he's playing because of his defense. So, when you are not hitting the ball as a lineup, when you are 0 for everything, and you're striking out 58 times in 5 games, please tell me why the defensive option is a higher priority than somebody who can maybe get on base. Matt Shaw he walked twice last night. Congratulations. His eye is intact, but his bat is absent. I think that's a disappointing postseason for him. I don't think he's got a hit. I don't think he's had a hit since the regular season. I think he's 0 for October. That's
Laura,
bad.
Laura's on the road.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, good morning. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I remember about a month and a half ago, Cubs hosting the Brewers, their last homestand there with them. And Council did the same thing we had Owen Casey, who was hot, and he was our hottest bat at the time, and he benched him in the middle of the game so Justin Turner could hit. Y'all remember that one?
Yeah. Justin Turner has Craig Counsell enamored with him. He's got him, he's turned Craig Counsell into comfort me, Craig. I don't know. You're right. That's a good memory. Justin Turner has gotten the benefit of every doubt all season long, including the $6 million they signed him to. That contract for 1 year. $6 million dough. That's a lot of dough. That's a lot.
How do you explain that Pat Murphy's opener plan blew up on him in the first inning?
It did.
And then they just stayed with the guy and everything worked out.
Well,
explain that one to me. Why can't good things happen for the Cubs?
Because the Brewers picked up their manager in a way that the Cubs did not. And Murphy, he got Craig Counsell to make the move that he dared him to make. He replaced Michael Busch with Justin Turner, inexplicably. And then Ashby gives up the homer to Seiya, and you think, oh, that was a bad idea. I bet you Quinn Priester wouldn't have done that if you're the Brewers. But then then Andrew Vaughn picked him up, and it started over. And so it didn't backfire because they had guys who hit in the clutch, and the Cubs did not. But yeah, it wasn't a great plan for Murph. I imagine he probably is.
I'm just saying, we're sitting here talking about how outmanaged Craig Counsell is. Like, it wasn't a great plan for Murph.
It wasn't initially, but he didn't compound the mistake. And he came in with the Miz at the right time, and he stayed with him.
But he also, it's almost like he didn't waste his starter then.
Right.
Now he's got him for game 3.
He's got Quinn Priester, who they have at one point won 19 in a row when he was on the mound. So in that way, I think that he was smart, and he had a lineup that was well constructed. Yeah, it wasn't a great opener plan because of the way it turned out, and Seiya made him pay for that. But at the same time, they recovered. The Cubs did not.